And Vivian, I should say thank you again for being here. You've been very generous with your time. You're sort of our Ukrainian correspondent at this point with all that's going on. So we really appreciate you coming back on. I want to ask you a little bit about the issues on the ground. Margaret was just talking about the fact that the facts on the ground tell the story here, apart from whatever the posturing is. We have seen Ukrainian officials, the president of the Ukraine, trying to downplay the threat that was happening here. But then today we saw Ukrainian military forces say, actually, this is going to be a sort of urgent situation. We are worried about this military buildup. What's changed there on the ground, and why are we hearing this sort of tone change by Ukrainian officials?
Well, they do recognize that the situation is becoming very dire for them, that Russian buildup is not actually scaling back, that it is building up, and especially to their northern border in Belarus, where they have this major issue now with a number of troops in Belarus growing by the day. And it doesn't just threaten Ukraine, it also threatens countries like Poland, the Baltic countries, a number of others. And so this is something that they are acknowledging, and they know that deal with the threat. They understand what their country is facing. But one of the big issues, and the reason that they've been trying to tone down their rhetoric the whole time, is to not instill some panic. For them, any kind of hit to the economy, a major blow domestically to President Zelensky and to his officials. And they believe that that is something that could really, kind of trigger a house of cards situation where if the economy gets hit because people are rushing the banks or fleeing the country in panic, then really a lot of other issues could happen and the government could crumble or be very vulnerable. And so that is really what they're trying to project publicly. But privately, they do recognize that their country has been under a threat for 8 years. And they probably do recognize, and some of them have acknowledged to me privately, yes, we see that the situation is growing increasingly serious, but we just don't want to have to protect that. And part of it is sort of, remember, it's a little bit of a bluffing game into who folds first. For them, they believe that Vladimir Putin has been bluffing up until very recently, and they don't want to show that they are in any way intimidated by him or fearful of what he could possibly do. The Ukrainian military is like leaps and bounds more powerful, more equipped, more skilled than it was in 2014. And so for them, the image that they essentially want to put out there is, okay, if you are really going to take this tack, bring it on. We are ready for you. And so that is what they've been trying to project this whole time.